Oh, wait, it's really simple. You attach a bomb to every patient that blows up if they die.
Wow, yeah, that is simple.
I'm sorry, it is terminal, and also this bomb.
Oh, God.
The hospital funding are like, so why are we buying this much C4?
If he's doing his job well, you only need one bomb.
Hello, and welcome to Win Stupid Prizes, the show where we ask the questions that nobody thought were worth asking. I'm Eddie, and I'm joined today by my three favourite video game sound effects, and they are Jamie.
Ooh. Oof.
Alex.
Yahoo! Yahoo!
Jesus. And our judge this episode is Bear. Those are my three favourites. How did you guys know? Alright, Bear, what have you got for us this episode?
It's been a while since I've had to fill this role, but as you know, I serve an advisory role for a number of prominent figures in helping them settle into...
Friends, wait.
helping them settle into regular daily lives and integrate with society. So today, I've come to you to ask for help in finding out what Peter Parker's job should be.
Wait, hang on. He already has a job.
Yeah, he's high school.
Oh, but you're saying that, like, J Jonah's too bad a boss, he's got to get a new job. I understand what you're saying.
His job as a pizza boy.
His job as a pizza boy. Well, don't ruin my answers.
He needs basic respect in the workplace.
Yeah, you're right. He does need a better paying job, though. That's a really good point. And I think that he could use... He's got some we know he's got connections with, again, prominent figures, much like yourself. And so I think he would make a really good sidekick for Spiderman. Already knows the guy quite well, takes photos of him regularly, and that is, as we've established in previous episodes, so we can turn superhero into a paid position. So Spider-Man clearly has an income. Don't know how else he has such cool powers.
So like a PA?
Kind of like a PA, yeah.
Bear, do you want to break this news, or should I?
Huh? What's up?
Yeah, how long do you want to talk about this before I let you know that that's off the table?
Why is that off the table?
It's just...
Ooh, we're going to go in the secret bunker.
I was like, wait, you haven't read the recent news?
Okay, don't tell anyone. Do not release this as a podcast. Peter Parker may be Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought everyone here knew that already.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's fine.
I thought that was public knowledge.
Right, that explains a lot, actually, now I think about it. But that's fine. I'll just pivot. I'll pivot this answer. What if he was a different superhero's sidekick or PA? Like, Batman has a sidekick and does really good work with that. He could do with a second sidekick. I'm sure that would be fine.
Yeah, to be fair, Batman does have a lot of problems with his sidekick, so we already know that Peter Parker's, like, reliable. We might want someone with a bit of prior experience.
Well, exactly.
Rather than just getting, like, any orphan with a rage issue.
One of the big problems with Batman as well is he's so pro-billionaire that I think having specifically a poor man like Peter Parker as his sidekick would give him a much-needed perspective.
And we do know that he's already friends with Harry Osborn, so he's already got that role down as being friends with a rich idiot.
There we go. He's already great at bringing rich idiots down to earth, and so he can do that with Batman instead.
So one question just to check about personalities here. We do know that Peter Parker's a little bit of a joker. Is that going to be a problem?
Well, no, I think that really plays off Batman really nicely. Oh, good point. Batman already has the Joker.
Joker is in comic shapes, not Joker is in the Joker.
Yeah, but do you think Batman, in a moment of rage, will recognize the difference?
I think as long as Spider-Man doesn't describe himself as a Joker, there won't be any confusion. As long as he's just making jokes.
I'm a Joker, baby.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, we get the full, where is she? As he takes him down.
We have proof of Batman working alongside that kind of character when he's older and mellowed in, is it called Batman Beyond?
Oh, the younger Batman dude.
Like, the new Batman's a lot more Peter Parker-y. Mm-hmm. He's a lot more, like, quippy.
That's true.
He's a lot more like that. So once Batman's mellowed off, he can work alongside that kind of person. A bit disgruntledly working alongside them, but he can do it.
Yeah. Or Lego Batman would probably be all right.
Yes, because doesn't he marry Joker at the end?
Lego Spider... Wait, what?
No, he admits that, like, he's his perfect rival or whatever.
Oh, this is a You Complete Me moment, like, or the dog chasing cars.
Yeah, there's like a You Complete Me rivals moment, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think we can, I think as long as he stays quippy and doesn't, like, outright say, I'm doing jokes now, we'll be okay there.
Yeah, he needs some kind of other word for, like, puzzles or jokes, right?
Quips is his thing, right? Isn't quippy literally how Spider-Man is described?
Yeah, that's kind of his whole MO, his thingy.
Yeah. Quippy and thwippy.
We have to be careful that he doesn't say Quiplash, though, and Jackbox sues him.
I think he actually will.
We're fine with mixing Marvel and DC, but if you say the word Quiplash, it's over.
No mixing our comic universe and our Jackbox cinematic universe.
I mean, Batman has already got an entire Bat family. Have you got anyone else?
Okay, yeah, I do actually. I think that Superman would also be quite a good pick here, because Superman often deals with very high-level threats, and having someone who's a bit more boots on the ground would be really helpful for him.
Oh, he could help Superman with the pizza delivery we established him with last time.
Precisely. Now you're getting it.
On an unrelated note, what job did we give Clark Kent before?
It was health research lab assistant.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a scientist medical combo thing.
Yeah, we floated the pizza thing, but...
Yeah, but this is in their role. This is specifically as a sidekick to a superhero or a PA to a superhero.
Okay.
And the colour schemes match. It's all good.
Their colours match?
But he doesn't. He kind of clashes with Batman. He complements Superman.
He does, because Superman is blue with red accents, whereas Spider-Man is red with blue accents. That's quite good.
Yeah, perfect.
It also Superman's ability to fly. I mean, Batman, I guess, like grappling hooks around, whereas Superman just flies. But Peter Parker can keep up with either of them, or Spider-Man keep up with either of them.
No, it's easy to keep up, Eddie.
What, just webbing onto Superman?
Yeah, you web onto Superman and swing along. Yeah.
It's just cause at that point, right?
You know how Superman has to spend when he's like carrying Lois Lane, has to waste an arm carrying her, so only has one arm to punch the baddies with? Well, Spider-Man, because he's got grippy fingers, can just hold on to his cape or whatever, and Superman will still have both arms for punching.
They could both punch as they like swing past. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, the flying and the swinging kind of work together because they can like follow each other. But yeah, if Superman and Spider-Man's grabbing onto Superman, that's like no benefit whatsoever.
Just frog posed on his shoulder in a big squat, like fully grown adult man in his like butt pose on the side of Superman.
Squat on his back as Superman's horizontal flying through the air.
I guess it allows Spider-Man to leave Metropolis / New York City, wherever we're basing this, because it's like Spider-Man has nothing to hang on to otherwise.
I mean, if there's ever a strong wind, can Spider-Man ever just like make a web kite and fly away?
He has web wings.
Oh, cool.
So he does sometimes kind of fly. Yeah.
Glides around a little
Or
bit.
glide-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, so if Superman can create just a little bit of an updraft in his wake as he's flying along, then Spider-Man can just infinite glide behind him.
Ooh. Would Storm be a good pick then? Because
Ooh.
she's got her whole storminess.
Yeah, but she's got the whole X-Men. Like that, you kind of get those as a package deal, right?
I guess.
I guess it depends, because if there's storms around, is he just always Spider-Sense? Because Spider-Sense is mostly about weather, right?
Yeah, but then he can look sick as fuck when he dodges all the lightning.
He just quits that job after a week because of stress.
Actually, mentioning Storm though, and the X-Men, as you pointed out, would that mean that he'd be a good sidekick for Charles Xavier? Charles Xavier specifically can't be boots on the ground and has to use all of his man dudes to do it. The X-Men.
His man dudes.
Whereas if he just had Spider-Man as his actual PA, he can do all the directing, he can move around, rather than him having to like psychic brain blast to give them instructions or whatever he does when they're out in the field. He's got Spider-Man there just on the phone or whatever.
He just hands Spider-Man a letter and Spider-Man swings off and hand delivers it to them on the battlefield. Like, these are your orders.
Are there literally canonical events where they like discuss whether Spider-Man should join the X-Men?
No, I think he's joined. Well, I don't know. I think he's joined the Fantastic Four for sure, but I don't think he's ever joined the X-Men.
I feel like there's something where they talk about him as if he's obviously a mutant.
No, okay, I don't want to get into the weeds of it, but the mutants and mutates are different things, and I've heard discussions about them that I then opted out of.
Fantastic.
I'm going to immediately pivot away from this because you mentioned the Fantastic Four, and Reed Richards would be great with a Spider-Man sidekick.
Yeah, also, like, Xavier has so many sidekicks already.
Yeah, right. Whereas Reed Richards has, like, 3 equals, 2 equals and a wife, I suppose.
Which one is Reed Richards? Is he stretchy?
He's the
Mr.
stretchy one.
Fantastic. He's stretchy boy.
Yeah.
But he's also big brain. He's like smartest guy on the planet or something, or close
He's
to.
canonically the smartest person in the universe?
In the
Something
universe?
like stupid like that.
Of course.
I believe a big problem with Reed Richards is he does have like some moral issues. Like there are definitely big comic book stories where Reed Richards either makes something that like a bad guy gets hold of, or just goes evil himself.
I believe Ultimate Reed Richards is just straight up a villain.
Yeah, right? And so having the, like, pure morals of Spider-Man as his
teenage
sidekick,
boy.
whilst also being smart and therefore worthy of Reed's respect, may be the perfect balance we need to just solve all of the world's problems.
Wow.
Just use all his tech, world peace, world hunger, immediately solved, best answer.
And if he ever goes full goop mode, we just web him back together, it's fine.
And the other thing is, like, I was going to say it might be an issue that Reed's always, like, chasing after the One Piece, but actually,
What?
Spider-Man being on the One Piece crew would be fantastic.
This is a real pivot.
I didn't get that joke. I'm just gonna admit.
He's stretchy. He's Monkey D. Luffy.
I
see.
They're the
Okay.
same guy.
That, my friend, is a stretch.
Oh, in this universe, was Luffy bitten by a radioactive rubber tree, and that's why he's stretchy?
I know this is my own answer, but I'm going to have to insist we move the fuck on.
So, okay, you're saying he's a sidekick. Are you attaching him in particular, or are you just putting him in the general pool of henchmen?
I think I've given you like 3 or 4 really strong pitches for superheroes that he could go along with, but I'm open to other options. If you think the Flash is a good mix, I don't think the Flash is as good, but like...
No.
Or he could just web to the Flash and hope it doesn't break.
Yeah, but maybe when the Flash accidentally does time bullshit, it's good to have Spider-Man around to like have a bit more brain about him, because Flash I don't think is that smart, he just thinks fast.
Isn't he like a chemical engineer or something?
Is he? I don't know, man. I ain't read comics.
Yeah, we don't respect Chem-Eng.
Yeah, any superhero is fine.
Right. I think there are some normal people who could do with the assistants better than superheroes. And as a result, I think Peter Parker would really fit into the like emergency services roles. I've got a few options. I realize as a superhero who's doing the flashy version of this, I'm basically downgrading him from the flashy version of this to the actually helping people.
No, I can respect that.
I did this to Superman, didn't I? Anyway.
I mean, it worked for Superman. Is it going to work for Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think Spider-Man has a moral obligation to use his superpowers on his time off to help people as well, because he can.
Wow.
And I think Spider-Man would buy that argument.
With great power comes great responsibility.
You picked the superhero that will absolutely believe you 100% when you make that
Yeah.
pitch to him. He's like, you're absolutely right, and it's going to eat me alive.
Yeah.
Right, so Spider-Sense came up a little bit. Imagine you've got the person who's running the actual, like, dispatch for emergency services.
Okay.
Like, they're picking up the phone calls, they're checking the cameras and everything. You give him footage of the city, right, that he's watching in his security office from, like, CCTV and stuff, and
Okay.
Spider-Sense can clue him in through what he's watching before something even happens, and he can dispatch people even earlier than a normal human could.
I love the surveillance state. No notes.
Surveillance man.
Your setup was go full 1984 and give it to Spider-Man.
No, my setup was the city's already covered in CCTV.
We need to slightly change the spider canon, so the bits he gets from a spider aren't like the super strength. He just gets loads of extra eyes.
Oh, I hate
God.
that. But also, that's great.
No.
We're not doing the body horror episode again.
So is that how spider sense works? Can you like remote spider sense, or would you actually need the Flash to constantly run him about the city so that he's everywhere at once and he can just alert when he's got spider sense?
Not 100% sure.
Dispatch, right? So you've put him in front of a wall of screens, essentially, I think is the image I'm getting here.
Yeah, and he can detect danger before it happens.
Yeah, and his spider sense will go off and be like, look at this screen, and he'll look over there and be like, oh, there's a crime, send people to the right place.
Is that going to be fast enough?
It's going to be faster than it is currently.
Oh yeah, what you do is actually, I just wasn't sure if it only worked when there was danger to him, but actually what you do is you set up a system where if he doesn't notice it, you hit him with a big hammer. And so then he'll get spider
If a
sense.
crime happens and Spider-Man isn't aware of it, we bonk.
So he gets the spider sense from the hammer and he's like, I better look at the right screen. Especially if it's a different hammer for different screens.
Oh,
Surely you have just solved the problem. If you have an automated system that can bonk Spider-Man, you have a fairly fast reacting surveillance system anyway.
No, because Spider-Man can sense it before it happens, right? So the hammer doesn't matter if the hammer is delayed. The hammer solves the attention problem, Spider-Man solves the time problem.
right, but then you need, like, a person watching every screen to press the hammer button whenever a crime's about to happen. At which point you don't
But
need
whenever a crime
Spider-Man.
just happened. Whenever a crime just happened.
When the police get the phone call that the crime has happened, Spider-Man get bonked.
Yeah, which means that you're always a few seconds ahead. So you're spent a lot of time and money to get like a 3-second lead on crime.
I'm getting Bear to answer this question for me. It's great.
So if there's any 911 calls, Spider-Man get bonk, and
Yeah.
thus will be able to, with about 5 or 10 seconds before, alert himself to danger, and thus go, there's about to be a 911 call over here.
Send someone.
I can sense it's like in the Bronx. And then there'll be a police van in the Bronx, and it's like, fuck, we needed a fire engine.
We just make a multi-purpose engine, right?
Okay.
Just to summarize, you are employing Spider-Man as the key component in the Spider-Man crushing machine.
What?
That was all you. I'm going to admit, that bit was all you.
Okay, I mean, that's why I was summarizing to check if I got your idea right. Clearly I've missed something.
If we need Spider-Man to actually be there in peril sorting the thing out, right, other forms of emergency services... bomb disposal teams. There are 3 or 4 differently coloured wires, and he got to pick which one to clip. He can hover over the clippers, start going to clip, and if it goes Spidey scent, he goes, no, not that one. Don't clip it. Go clip next. Check the next one.
That's actually good, though.
And then gets hit by a hammer.
Right? He can sense that. Yeah.
The bomb disposal works, yeah.
Similarly, as a surgeon, if he's about to do something to the wrong part of someone's body,
oh my god!
No, because there you need a hammer again, right?
Do you? Can he detect?
The bomb disposal, you don't need a hammer. The bomb is the hammer.
I don't quite know if he has to be in peril or someone has to be in peril. Yeah, good question. I'll stick to bomb disposal.
Yeah, let's stick to bomb disposal. We'll leave the open heart surgery to the open heart surgeon.
To Superman.
Oh, wait, it's really simple. You attach a bomb to every patient that blows up if they die.
Wow, yeah, that is simple.
I'm sorry, it is terminal, and also this bomb.
Oh god.
The hospital funding are like, so why are we buying this much C4?
If he's doing his job well, you only need one bomb.
People die.
But also, aren't there some things like this surgery has a 50% chance of success, let's say. So it's just a 50-50 shot that Spider-Man dies anyway.
But isn't the point of having a superhero do it with magic powers so that you can get better than those odds?
Now it's a 70-30 chance. But instead of 30, like, 1 in 3 surgeries, Spider-Man's gonna die.
Okay, fine. We need a few bombs.
And he can get out the room.
I mean, he is in America, so people are going to spend like $400,000 on this surgery anyway. Way more than pays for the bomb.
Oh, right. The increase to buy the bomb is not that much.
We just put the bomb as one of the many line items in the...
I shouldn't have mentioned surgery at all. This is a disaster.
The thing that I liked about surgery was, like, a lot of surgery is still hurting people. You're just hurting people less. Like, less now to prevent more longer-term pain in the future. But because it's still causing pain, is his Spidey sense still going off? And he just has to really tune into, like, the levels of Spidey sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, leave that. Okay, we leave that to Superman. We do the bomb disposal team.
Yeah, we ask Spider-Man to solve the whole, like, ethical problem of how much harm can you do in the pursuit of good, given that you don't know how things are going to turn out.
Give Spider-Man the trolley problem, and he's just, like, constantly... But, like, we blindfold him so he can't tell which way the lever is.
Yeah. We make him a philosopher, and he's not really any better at philosophy than anyone else. He can just tell when he's about to get hurt.
Yeah, he just knows it's all bad.
I think I found the perfect middle ground on bomb disposal. And
yeah, bomb disposal's really good.
Yeah. Response dispatcher and surgeon sort of just either side too far.
Yeah, bomb disposal's too good. Let's go back to surgery.
Yeah.
Bomb disposal's too good.
Especially because if he ever gets stuck in traffic, he just jumps out of the van and swings his way to the bomb.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
If there's a bomb, like, 3 stories up in a parking lot, boom.
Or he can tack a chick to a web and he can, like, swing it around and throw it into the sky and have it explode in the sky if he can't solve it.
Oh, also not terrible.
It's kind of superheroing. I'm basically just making superheroing his job.
Oh, because he's the PA to Superman, if there's ever a bomb he can't deal with, he just phones up Superman to, like, tank the bomb.
Perfect.
Yeah, why are we having someone actually solve the bombs when we could just get some teleporting hero to
asked what Peter Parker's job is, not Nightcrawler.
Yeah, not...
How far can Nightcrawler... Not relevant.
Yeah, really.
What if Spider-Man was Nightcrawler's sidekick?
Okay, so from Jamie we've got bomb disposal or being a key part in the middle of a piano-like system of hammers.
Yeah.
Or the world's worst surgeon.
I do like the image of him just being like, don't worry, you're going to be fine, and then he straps a bomb to you.
No, this is for me. Don't worry, not you.
Yeah. What have you got, Alex?
So, I do think that he would be a little bit of a Nightcrawler in my idea, which is a night shift worker.
Is this a euphemism?
No, it's not. So he's a nerd. He could work, like, IT support overnight, doing, like, the cable laying, where you have to lay a cable in the building.
Okay.
And you can just, like, spider it up and, like, get the cables up on the top of the roof where everything wants, and then, like, nail it down afterwards, and then get rid of the spiders, and everything's good, and you've done a great job.
Oh, I see. Right. He can temporarily get the cables where he wants to.
Yeah.
Before he has to figure out the permanent fix. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, then you permanently fix them. He could be a security guard overnight, which is a fantastic job if you need to, because obviously all the crime crime happens at night, if you need to go and save the city for 5-10 minutes, there's no one else around, so you can go and you can disappear, you can like web up the bad guys, and then you can go back and still be sipping your coffee by the time the other night guards are around and like, that's where Peter is.
Security guard's a great setup for him, like, trying to get back to his job before, like, he sees his bosses walking in, and he's like, well, I still have to go save this person.
Exactly.
How am I going to, like, use my web
How am I
system
going
to make the door
slip
move
into
and
the
make it seem like
toilet
I've
and
been
then
in the
come
toilet?
back?
Yeah.
So, assuming that the general public don't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so there's less chance of revealing that secret.
Interesting theory.
He's got his spidey sense, so if anything goes wrong in the building, he's security guarding or cleaning or whatever night shift work we try and get him to do.
If there's an emergency, like, bomb situation or surgery in his building.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, never mind someone breaking in or a fire in the server room.
This is the perfect way to get Peter Parker to suffer even more burnout. 'Cause
Yes.
He's got like his student duties in the
was
day,
thinking this.
some Spider-Manning in the afternoon, and then overnight he's working the night shift and he has to get up to get back to school. He's never going to sleep.
That's not even mentioning the fact that he's Superman's PA this whole time.
Yeah, exactly, right? He's doing that in the morning before school after the security job.
And he's running messages for Professor X because Professor X is like, I can't be bothered to use my psychic powers now.
All right. And if the bomb squad gives him a call, oh god.
Is he still in school? How many years has he been in school now?
Between like
It really depends on the Peter Parker.
yeah, right.
He's been a married adult in some things, so
Yeah.
they did a story that covered his entire life. So I guess they do sometimes allow him out of being a kid.
They
but,
do,
like,
and then they occasionally reset the timeline.
yeah, I don't know what he is right now in main Marvel.
It's
But,
like 4 different Spider-Men right now.
yeah, that makes it more fun if we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually there's like 4 different Spider-Man in any Spider-Man movie now.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
That's how he can hold down all these jobs.
Yeah, but unfortunately he has to do them in all of the universes, so we need like a multiplier on the Spider-Man.
There was a brief idea in there that like you had him being like IT support, security guard, front of desk, cleaner.
Yeah.
And so you could actually get him like 4 jobs at once and therefore save the company money.
Ooh, the multitask. Because he can just like go, I'm just going to swoosh in through this vent. Someone's appeared at the front door. I'll take that package.
Exactly.
I've got all my spider webs set up so that there's an alert when someone comes through that door. And then I can
And
be
as
like,
we've learned from capitalism, giving someone 4 times as many responsibilities in one job always works out.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
He loves responsibility.
with great responsibilities comes exactly the same pay.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, we'd pay him like 1.5 times salary, but he would have to do 4 times the work.
Okay,
4
cool.
jobs.
Look, you're
for
getting
that.
paid in opportunity.
Oh, the opportunity is insane. Think about it, right? The opportunities for promotion, given there's no one above him because we don't need any other staff, we can promote him as many times as he wants.
Exactly.
It's purely a like title promotion. There's no
Oh,
extra
no,
money.
he needs a middle manager above him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spider manager.
His job exists. He's only actually being hired so that a middle manager can have a job.
We'll get like Harry Osborn in or something. Over it.
He gets this job to move away from J Jonah Jameson. J Jonah Jameson decides to get a new job and moves into his middle manager night shift role. We don't solve any problems.
I want my desk clean by Monday.
But it's a version of J. Jonah Jameson where he got fired from the newspaper for being too, old-fashioned a boss, so he's done a few LinkedIn courses about management, and now he's got a thin veneer of trying to care.
Oh my god. J Jonah Jameson just making a bunch of LinkedIn posts overnight while Peter Parker does all the actual work. It's incredible. I'm such a good manager. I pay my employee 1.5 times any one of his roles would normally get.
Inspirational posts.
So, like, in the Spider-Man games, J. Jonah Jameson is, like, doing podcasts about how Spider-Man's a menace. But I really like the evolution of J. Jonah Jameson into the worst person you know. Just making LinkedIn posts.
Just trying to survive HR in the modern era.
He's provably actually got a moral core in the movies, right? But other than that,
Well, yeah, he's got a moral
he's
core.
awful. He's awful until you actually check his principles, and then he's like actually suddenly good temporarily, and then he gets back to being a dick again.
His moral core is fine. It's the rest of the stuff he does. that
Yeah.
isn't.
It's how he hides the moral core that makes him a bastard.
Yeah.
All right, so what new job are we getting J. Jonah Jameson?
Just to clarify, Alex, your pitch therefore is to get Peter Parker away from J. Jonah Jameson is to get him a night shift worker role where J. Jonah Jameson is his manager, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Again, I don't think we need J. Jonah Jameson as the manager.
It seemed like a core part of your pitch.
But if J. Jonah Jameson happens to apply for that job, and he's the best person for that role,
Yeah.
like, we can't discriminate against J. Jonah Jameson.
Have you seen his LinkedIn posts? They're incredible.
And just to clarify, like, the core of this job is really about getting Spider-Man a bit more downtime rather than contributing to society, right?
No, this is getting burnout.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Sup, dingbats. I'm quite keen to get some more listeners on this bad boy, so if you're an up-and-coming content creator who would like to do a promo swap, trailer exchange, or any kind of mutual scratchies backsies sort of situation, then pop us an email on business@hexagorgon.com. Or you can get in touch on social media, links down in the description as always. I'm super up for helping any content creators that I think are doing good work, so if you think we're doing good work, and especially if you think our audiences would enjoy each other's content, then why not get in touch and we'll see if we can't figure something out. I'll see you in my DMs, and now, back to the episode. So now that J Jonah Jameson has got a role as a night shift manager, I think that Peter Parker should actually get back into journalism.
Oh, the twists and turns.
Not necessarily photography. As we know from one of our previous episodes, there's a role has opened up at the Daily Planet. That's Superman's newspaper.
Yes.
Oh no, the print newspaper's dead, that's why I
No. I think print newspaper's coming back. I think people are getting annoyed at technology and we're actually moving back into like dumb phones and stuff.
Yeah, invest
So
in that.
print journalism's going to see a new rise. And the fact that Clark Kent left his job means that there's an opening for Peter Parker to swing in and take that role.
This is the big brain play.
Similarly, like, I suggested he would make a good sidekick for Spider-Man originally because he was, like, very good at taking photos and things. But actually, now that I know that he apparently is Spider-Man, that means that he can get around town very quickly to find news stories, get to, like, crime scenes quickly where a lot of news happens, be a great crime reporter as well as a crime fighter, does a bit of both, right? He'd be at the same place, not suspicious that Spider-Man and Peter Parker are in the same place at all at that point.
Oh wait, so he some criminals do a bank robbery, he fights them, webs them up, and then as the van with the camera crew drives up, he pops off the mask, takes the microphone they hand him, and then starts reporting on the crime he just saved.
So what's his view on journalistic ethics?
Presumably he's trying to hide his identity in this role, so it would have to, like, Spider-Man's like, and now the police are here, I must leave, and swings out, runs back in as Peter Parker to report on the scene.
Swings out, Peter Parker swings back in on the road and just like, oh, I just caught this rope that was flailing around. Hi.
Thanks for the lift, Spider-Man.
Or he swings into the news van and then steps out of the news van.
Yeah, that works too, yeah. Like Superman flies into the phone booth, spins around and is now Clark Kent, or vice versa, whichever way around it is. Peter Parker swings into the news van and comes out as Spider-Man, or vice versa.
So you're not even doing print media, you're doing, like, on-the-scene news reporting in front of the camera stuff. Because he's charismatic.
True, yeah. I mean, he can do both. Again, he can do 4 roles as a night shift worker, so you can do 4 roles as a newspaper journalist and get paid 1.5 times his regular rate.
I do want to know, though, is he actually any good at journalism? Because all of his experience at the moment is just getting photos of Spider-Man. He's a good journalist photographer, but he also gets to stage all of those, so is he actually good at getting pictures that he hasn't staged?
He can get to good spots to take photos from.
He knows where the crime is happening, so he can quickly set up some cameras. He knows how to set up cameras with webs on timers, so he can get photos of the crime scene. It does then become a bit of a game where he enters a crime scene and knows where the photo is set up, so tries to lure the criminals into the right position to get a good photo.
Now that is bad journalistic ethics.
But also on his 1.5 times salary, he could probably buy more cameras. He's got loads of money.
Yeah. He just gets a GoPro and just starts uploading it all to TikTok.
In his spider logo on his chest, he's got a GoPro there.
I don't know how good he'd be, like, at writing articles and stuff, but I do see him in front of the camera quite well and taking pictures.
In a lot of, like, the scenarios, he's often pitching, like, titles to J Jonah Jameson. When he's like, Spider Menace, Ruined City again, or whatever, Peter Parker's like, oh, actually, he was saving the scene, so wouldn't, like, Spider-Man saves old lady or something be a better headline? So he's got some experience in that industry, so I think he could adapt to it reasonably well.
Spider-Man good, actually?
Yeah.
There's always a risk of putting a superhero in an alter ego in front of a camera, though, because they're reporting on a crime, it's happening, they're like, I need to find some excuse to wrap up this segment so I can get out of here.
He could be the cameraman instead, like, oh, the camera's all set up, alright, I'm gonna go take 5, I'll be
Yeah, classic. Our cameraman keeps leaving.
Go take 5, but leave it on. Leave it running.
Yeah, as we know, cameramen could just click record and leave. That's what they do.
Yeah, they never have to zoom in or, like, track a shot or anything. They just leave a shot static.
Yeah, it's actually a super easy role. Definitely not quite actually complicated.
He can do that remotely. He can, like he needs to move the camera, little web shot, move the camera, keep the tracking shot going.
Spider-Man also cameraman? Spider-Man?
Okay, either his crew could be in on it, or he could just be like the roadie and he's like, oh, something's wrong with the cables, I better go fix that, and he just disappears for a while.
Leaves the camera rolling.
Comes back, everything's working.
Or we register Spider-Man as a public service. Spider-Man has all this footage from his drones, and then Peter Parker, the person, puts a Freedom of Information Act request in to Spider-Man to get all that footage that Spider-Man's done.
Oh, interesting. That does undermine, if anyone could put in a Freedom of Information Act, that does undermine Peter Parker's unique position of being able to get photos of Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he came up with it.
Yeah, but he came up with it.
Oh, right.
It's a stupid idea, but, you know.
Or he just develops a really convoluted form that only he knows how to navigate because there's a bomb attached to it and you need spider sense.
He copyrights the specific Freedom of Information Act for Spider-Man, so no one else is allowed to submit it without getting his permission.
Or we move Spider-Man to Europe.
Okay.
And thus, Peter Parker just happens to be in some of the shots, and because Peter Parker's the only person there, then Peter Parker's the only person who can be in the subject access request.
Wow. We're no longer a comedy podcast. We're now Alex's special interest about
specific EU law.
Yeah. I love going to my neighbors with their Ring doorbells and telling them they have 30 days to provide me with their Ring footage, and then they ignore it. Let's have a discussion about GDPR and data protection.
Why don't we have a discussion about a different job Spider-Man could have instead?
Yeah, he could be a GDPR regulator.
All right, but you're the judge, so I'm not going to let you submit that answer.
I win,
if somebody else wants to bring it, that's fine.
Right, so my suggestion is no. Right.
Jamie, no!
All of these high-stress, in danger, never get a break jobs. They have to be on the scene for the news reporting nice and quick. You need to be on the scene for the bomb, right? All of these constant things. Peter Parker needs a job where he can relax a bit on his downtime from being Spider-Man. And I have a very funny mental image in my head that I quite like, and I'm going to run with it for this chill job. As long as we're in one of those periods where people know who Spider-Man is, he can work at a climbing gym as a climbing instructor. And so as people are learning to climb, he can just stroll up the wall next to them and give them tips. And if they fall off, webs save them.
Does that mean this is a climbing gym without ropes because they've outsourced the ropes to Spider-Man?
I mean, it's a bouldering gym.
Or a bouldering gym. Yeah, bouldering gym doesn't even use ropes normally, right?
Yeah.
And he could just stroll up and they're like, oh, I don't know what kind of hold I'm meant to do here. And he gives them tips and they have a chat when they're doing it. And it's nice and chill, makes friends.
I do really like, though, that he is really useful in terms of encouraging people and making sure they don't get hurt. But they're like, oh, how do I do this? He's just like, watch me. And he just crawls up. He's just like, just stick your hand to the wall. And they're like, what?
No, you have to take the handholds to move up. The Spider-Man's just like,
no, I don't.
I've never really learnt this way. I would simply just go up the wall. Skill issue.
He's a clever boy. He could learn.
It's not that hard, dude. Look, it doesn't take any effort. Watch. Just hanging there by a pinky.
And to me, he just walks up it, sort of perpendicular to the wall, 2 feet on the wall, and just like stands next to you.
Or dangles behind you as you're...
Walks up the wall, feet only, just stands there, horizontal.
Yeah. Like, it's the pink one. No, you're meant to be grabbing the pink one. No, damn it.
Because he's very athletic and flexible, though, there's also a real chance that he just doesn't understand the, like... If he does understand the handholds but doesn't understand normal flexibility, and he's just like, just get your leg above the head, get into that foothold up there, then turn yourself upside down, pick yourself up by the toes, get your hands onto these hands. And it's just like, Spider-Man, that's not humanly possible.
He's a scientist. He's a scientist. I'm sure he can understand the physicality of the human body.
He's too smart.
You just jump backwards, do a front flip so that your feet hit into the crevice, and then you flip yourself up like a tumbling thing.
This was actually not that high. Just jump up there.
Yeah.
And they're like, I understand that that's physically possible, but my body is not capable.
It would save on scaffolding with putting, like, if you need to do maintenance with, like, the rocks or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when you move them, yeah.
You could just be like, with an electric drill, it goes, easy peasy.
Yeah, he can, so you don't even need the maintenance team. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And again, we've got him doing more than one job, so we need to add 0.25% of his pay.
I will admit, Yeah, all but one of these answers has been multiple jobs.
Is it a full extra job, or is it something we've asked him to do while he's at it? Because we don't give him more pay if it's basically a favor, a one-time favor that he then just regularly does.
Yeah, people who work at like bouldering places also swap out their things. It's part of the role.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he can also run the cafe on the front.
Yeah, like, I think this whole idea of you're going to get paid more for doing multiple jobs is just not rooted in reality.
Unless it's like I pointed out, 4 jobs, in which case you get 1.5 times pay.
Yeah.
If you're being hired for 4 jobs, yes, but if you're doing one job and then they keep adding bits on.
Yeah, no, I understand. The thing about this as well, like, it's really, really good for kids' parties. Like, kids love a Spider-Man party anyway, and like rock climbing is a viable kids' party. Combine the two.
Yeah, why is he not just a kid's entertainer?
Just a kids' entertainer.
He's just a Spider-Man impersonator for kids' parties.
Impersonator.
It's in a much cheaper Spider-Man costume than normal. Like, he has 2 costumes. He's got the crappy one for doing the entertainment and the good one for doing the crime fighting, and then he puts the wrong one on one time
The
and he
better
turns
one
up.
is actually the party one because it's more focused on looking impressive than on being functional.
I just wanted him to turn up to fight the Green Goblin in a really cheap knockoff Spider-Man costume.
Turns out that's what he does anyway. He's just wearing the loose rag.
So there are some other things that being good at climbing can help with, adjacent to this, that I went through before I got to climbing instructor.
Okay.
So we're doing multiple jobs in all of these and multiple answers in all of these. So I'm gonna fire away. Chimney sweep, but you can just climb up. Reverse chimney sweep, otherwise known as Santa.
Okay.
And window cleaner.
Question about chimney sweep. How much gunk can Spider-Man make? Can he just like blast the chimney with webs and clean it out that way?
And then it just spurts out the top and you have to censor it on the local news.
It's not called gunk. It's web. It's web fluid, not gunk.
A web is a kind of gunk.
Yeah, but like, don't call it gunk.
Gunk is just a normal word.
I love gunk.
Like, oh yeah, Spider-Man stopped the criminal who was stealing my bike by webbing the bike to the wall. It's sticky now.
Can we just put a bookmark in the Santa is reverse chimney sweep idea and maybe bring this back as Christmas as what job should Santa have?
Hey, look, we keep doing
have?
Santa win stupid prizes. Who would do a better job than Santa? Spider-Man.
Santa should be Spider-Man, yeah.
We're unmasking Santa. Which Superman did he turn out to be? Superman?
Which Superman did he turn out to be?
Oops, I spoiled it. My bad.
Superman? Superboy? Ultimate Superman? Evil Superman?
Actually, yeah, Superman's one of the
Santa's
few
done
ones
them
who
all.
could get around the world in time and do it, right? Yeah, like him and the Flash.
Quite a
and we're
few of
done.
them, really. Because I mean, like you just hire Flash as Rudolph.
Yeah, but to physically do the task.
He runs fast enough that like time stops, and he brings you into the Speed Force. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He runs fast enough to generate light. It's why he heats up.
Spider-Man just goes backwards around the Earth and therefore can repeat the night over and over until he gets everything.
Wait, Spider-Man? Oh,
Superman! Crap! Superman! Wrong one!
Does whatever a super can.
Right, you have the Flash deliver Spider-Man to each house, and then Spider-Man reverse chimney sweeps down and delivers the presents. Solved it.
sounds like he's the PA for the Flash then.
I know I brought us here, but the actual question, right? What else? You were saying some things he could do as a job by climbing, and then I interrupted you with Superman being Santa Claus.
Yeah, chimney sweep, reverse chimney sweep, window cleaner. Like, skyscraper window cleaner.
Hang on chimney sweep briefly. Like, he does, if he has a role as a chimney sweep, he turns up to his friends afterwards or something, and they're like, oh no, Venom's back! He's taken over Spider-Man again! What? No, it's just, and they're all like, suddenly all of his friends are
No,
fighting.
they're like, hi, Miles. It's Miles. It must be Miles.
But he's black and red, right?
Yeah, but if he's just got soot on, he'll look like Miles Morales because it'll be a black costume with red highlights.
It really depends which Miles costume.
Yeah.
That's really good for skyscraper. They don't have to attach the like big trolley, what's it called, gondola thing that they lower down from the...
Yeah, can just walk up.
He
He
can
has
just
to start.
walk
He
up.
has to start at the top and clean downwards. Otherwise, he'll leave footprints.
Yeah, but does his web leave horrible sticky marks on the window?
It dissolves after like 6 hours or whatever, right? That's like how it do.
Yeah, but does it leave a residue?
The arm that they would attach the gondola to, he webs to that.
No, it's a self-sustaining economy. He cleans all the windows but leaves webs behind, and as they clear, it re-dirties the windows.
Right, so 6 hours after he's gone, the windows are filthy.
Gonna have to come back again and, gonna gonna have to pay me again, I guess.
4 times a day, baby.
There's gunk everywhere.
I don't know, it might be longer than 6 hours, but yeah, the point is, come back just to clean up the webs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gunk dries see-through, but it remains sticky, so it just picks up all the dirt in the city
Wait, why
sky.
is he gunking? Why is he webbing when he can climb, just with his hands and feet?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to use water to clean it when he's got all this web in him.
I don't think the webs are cleaning. I don't think they have cleaning properties.
No.
They're sticky, right? So they pick the dirt off. Have you never used, like, tape to clean things or, like, putty? Have you never had, like, a small thing and you've used putty to clean it?
He does do the science to his webs. He's like, oh, this web is a bit different. It does this thing. So maybe he could be like, this web has fairy liquid in.
You don't need very much. Sticky stuff is genuinely good for cleaning in real life.
Only like physical dirt, right? Rather than like stains.
It depends how fine, yeah. You just don't want the sticky stuff to remain on the surface, usually.
Wait, are we still talking about Spider-Man?
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
We're not. Get us out of climbing.
Okay, so just to summarize, Spider-Man is either teaching a climbing class
Yeah.
in a massively trollish way,
Yeah.
or he's doing stuff in chimneys and city windows.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm not used to these summaries anyway.
I'm just making sure I've understood the point.
So, we know that Spider-Man has Spidey sense.
Yeah.
We do.
So I think he would work well as a very, very, very short-term fortune teller. As in, go to the fortune teller and see if right now you're about to be attacked by a guy. Like, within the next 10 to 15 seconds.
Wait, so short term, but not only short term, only good at detecting danger.
Yes.
Only good. Oh,
Danger where you are.
Or like, okay, I've got a gun, I'll point it at my head, Spider-Man, am I going to become rich? And if you say no, I'll shoot, and therefore his spider sense turns on.
Russian roulette.
he just becomes a liar at that point.
Or the other thing, he just sets up like a hostel for paranoid people, like a hotel, where he's there, so they know that if something bad's gonna happen, he'll detect it.
And they can be nice and relaxed. Yeah.
I want to go back to the get rich thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a minute before the lottery numbers get announced, someone gets a lottery ticket, points a gun at their head, and is like, Spider-Man, is this a winning number? Like, he goes over all of them. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and like cashes it in with like 30 seconds to spare.
Yeah, but as we know, you don't point a gun unless you're intending to shoot because of gun safety. So as soon as you point a gun, Spidey sense is off. It's going. It doesn't matter whether you're actually going to pull it conditionally.
Okay, right. No, we're going to bring back something from earlier. You attach a bomb to the lottery ticket, and if it doesn't win, it goes off.
Yeah, okay, I'm back on board.
And now you have to fill it out correctly, or the bomb will explode.
Imagine if we were wrong about this and actually just the presence of the bomb is just going to set off the Spidey sense the whole time.
Does this work specifically in like a loan shark situation? So people tie up like, we're going to break your kneecaps, and they're like, what, not if I win the lottery, Spider-Man, help me win the lottery, or they'll break my kneecap.
Or we'll break Spidey's kneecaps.
Yeah, I don't know if he can be that specific in his Spidey sense.
I've borrowed a bunch of money from the Yakuza just to find out if this is true or not.
Maybe that would be a good job for him. Become a Yakuza man.
Crime, yeah, what a great... Wait, can I just stop and declare the winner for Eddie right now? The job Peter Parker has been looking for this whole time has been a mob boss, you're
I
right.
believe I did suggest that Superman should become a criminal and make a self-sustaining economy, and so, like, I should have brought that for Spider-Man as well, you're right, but I didn't.
Yeah, but not. We're not talking about like self-sustaining economy. We're just talking about like brutal, organized crime.
We'll fit that into the other superheroes' PA thing. If Spider-Man causes crime and gets the other superhero to fix it, then it's a self-sustaining economy.
Like, oh, we've become too efficient by having Superman and Spider-Man work together to defeat crime, so now Spider-Man has to go out and make sure they've got a job. Yeah, perfect.
Yes, too efficient.
So, going back,
Yes,
the actual
please.
answer.
Fortune telling.
short-term fortune teller would be great for medical triage. Like, you come to A&E, you present, and they're like, oh, I don't know if you're actually going to die within the next 10 minutes. And Spider-Man's like, no, that guy, take him in right now, get a surgeon to look at him, because my Spidey senses are tingling.
Oh, this is just Jamie's answer if you do that, though.
Oh, fuck.
Well, they work together.
They work together, sure. Train repair. If someone is repairing a train, like on a working train track, Spider-Man can go, oh, the train's just about to come, launch the guy out of danger, and then the guy can go back to fixing the train track.
Wait, the well-known
Efficiencies.
member of a train rail laying team, the fortune teller.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, but I actually think I have a slightly better job for Spider-Man right there.
Bez giving
Instead
his
of
own answers
detecting
now.
the train that's on the live live track being fixing. Spider-Man's job is to actually tell the trains not to go while they're doing live repairs on a track.
Sometimes you need to be fixing the track whilst trains are going, otherwise you block train operations in New York. The subway isn't efficient, and then people would have to like use a car or something, and that would be unthinkable.
That is unthinkable, you're right. In New York, never.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit surprised by the swerve from like fortune teller to hired by rail company fortune teller is just a very funny idea.
To reduce safety measures and increase
We
profits.
got Mystic Megan to tell us when we can like fix the signals.
Trying to like corporatize the fortune teller thing, would he be able to do something around betting and like gambling? Would there be some way you could use a spidey sense in that industry?
Oh, to make sure if someone's about to make a bet, well, they'll make loads of money and that you'll lose loads of money.
Yeah.
His spider sense goes off and he's like, no, we're not going to take that bet. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing. Yeah, or like he could adjust the odds in like a horse race or something really quickly. Be like, oh, hang on a minute, I'm sensing we're about to lose a bunch of money. Let's change the
We have
odds.
to bring the hammer back in.
Are his senses just keen enough to know the card from the back of the card?
Oh, we're doing like tarot or something.
No, I mean like just blackjack or poker or whatever.
Huh.
Like, is he just super sensitive enough that he
Spider-Man enters a poker competition, everybody else just leaves. They're like, I'll take my money.
can... If anyone ever looks at everyone's playing blind because if they look at their cards, he'll see the reflect. They start with a new deck every time, and no one ever looks at their cards because he'll see the reflection in their eye.
Or even if he couldn't see the reflection in their eye, like when they go all in, he's like, oh, I can spidey sense that I'm going to lose this one. I guess I'll fold or whatever.
Yeah.
All the spice doesn't go off, and he's like, oh, you're bluffing. Great, all in.
Yeah.
Or even if like Spidey Sense doesn't actually trigger so trivially, like he's a superhuman.
He's really good at spotting tells.
Like he can tell your heartbeat is up by 2 beats per second.
All superhumans, rather than saving people, should be saving people from casinos. If he can make all of the casinos go bust, then he's saved people.
Yeah, it is a short-term job where he'd have to keep changing his identity.
Yeah.
If his job is draining money from casinos and then putting it into public services and charity work and that.
So off-piece.
Yeah, but that's not a job, which is why I think he needs to be hired by the casino.
Casinos literally hire people to find the people that are too good at the casino, draining them money, and saying, you can't be here anymore, get the fuck out.
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah, but I say he runs through each one a few times. He'd have a system of draining a large amount of money from each one, and then he'd put on a fake mustache and go back through the cycle again.
I think hiring him in the casino, we can bring back the hammer bonk security camera system.
Yeah, gonna have to.
But instead of a whole city, he's just looking at the cameras around the casino, and therefore, anytime someone's about to win big, he senses the hammer about to bonk him and goes, don't take that bet.
Well, you want people to win big, you just don't want people...
Oh, who will win big and then leave. You want them to win big and then bet bigger.
No, even if they win big and leave, that's good for the ecosystem. What you don't want is for them to have a system that lets them win small reliably.
So on this comedy podcast, GDPR and casino rules.
Casino Royale, but with Spider-Man. I'm gonna spray this conversation with Weed Killer and say, that's my answer, fantastic, thank you very much.
Wait, which is your answer? Fortune telling, robbing casinos, or making casinos rich?
All three.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Anything apart from the third one.
Okay.
Peter Parker has morals.
I think, unfortunately, the third one was the best one as an actual job.
I feel like, Bear, if you want to join this game as a contestant and submit that as your answer and then judge it as the winner, you can do that. Do not give me the prize for casinos.
You have submitted like 3 answers this time, so...
I'm just discussing based on the ideas that are being raised.
Yeah, like we came with 2 answers each, but really there's been like 20 in this episode, so pick whichever one you want.
Yeah, this has been a lot. Wait, does that mean we get paid 1.5 times as much?
No, we established that.
Oh.
No, yeah, I'll pay you 1.5 times as much as I normally would pay you for this episode, yeah.
Oh, thanks. Good.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, good.
Go to a casino, bet 1.5 times as much as you would normally would, and see if you win 1.5 times as much.
It's the same number. They're all 0.
All right, well, I've just been on the phone with Peter Parker, and he's weighed in, and he said, actually, he does think that he would quite like to try out the whole bomb work. He thinks that really lines up with his abilities. It's actually useful. It's not extremely stressful and depressing, except in a normal danger way.
Okay.
And so congratulations, Jamie.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought I had you with Super Sidekick.
However, the correct answer is, of course, that we put him in a factory and milk him for his super strength webs to build the space elevator so that we can advance humanity.
Only the Tobey Maguire one makes his own webs.
Well, yeah, we milk Tobey Maguire, of course.
Yeah, what about Spider-Man, though?
What has he won? Do we have a prize?
We do have a prize. The prize...
Spide or man?
No, we decided it was 2 cans of silly string and a roll of sellotape because the job of Spider-Man is now open, so you can be Spider-Man.
Oh, right, yeah. Congratulations. Your prize is you have great responsibility. With 2 cans of silly string and a roll of tape.
Wait, what am I going to do with 2 cans of silly string and a roll of sellotape?
Become Spider-Man, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I mean, the job of Spider-Man is now open because he's a bomb disposal squad.
He's busy disposing bombs.
Yeah, New York still needs saving.
I'm dead.
Jamie versus the lizard.
Jamie versus a normal street criminal. Still bad.
Spider-Man is usually much more powerful than the villains he's facing, right? Like, he could absolutely body them if he went hard.
Depends. Like, the street thugs, sure, yeah.
So if you're happy to go all out, you might have a chance, because they're weak as fuck.
Give me a gun.
Yeah, it's America, yeah. You just buy some bombs, and then Spider-Man shows up.
Buy some bombs.
Your whole strategy of being Spider-Man is make bombs, and then the real Spider-Man shows up because he's got a bomb and solves it for you.
Spider-Man, I've got a bomb strapped to me, and if you don't defeat the Green Goblin, it's going to explode.
He's like, oh, actually, I'm not going to fight the Green Goblin, I'm just a bomb disposal unit now. Snips the right
I'm just gonna
wire.
get rid of this bomb.
Leaves.
Good luck.
Good luck with the Goblin.
Oh, no.
Thanks for listening, Anonymous Data Point. I know everyone tells you this, but as a tiny independent outlet, we really do need your support. So if you've enjoyed this stupid episode, please subscribe on whichever platform you're listening on. If you're feeling extra generous, you could rate and review us on Apple and Spotify. 5 stars, please. Or more importantly, you could recommend this show to a friend. Regardless of whether you do any of that, we really appreciate your listenership, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Well, you'll see us anyway. I mean, not see exactly. Nah, you get the idea. Alright, Bear, what have you got for us this episode?
What I want to know today, and I'm a rapping. I should not sing this for doing it a rap. It's the 80s and we do everything with rap. So what would be Peter Parker's secret rap career? No, what... Okay.
I don't think that's a very... No.
No.
I'm
What
going to
an
go with
insane
no.
right
start.
there.
What a genuinely insane start to a recording. Like,
No, I'm done. I'm out. I'm leaving.
alright, let's try this
episode,
one again
everyone.
tomorrow, everybody. We might
Yeah. I'm just going to go and turn my main switch off.
give it 24 hours. Bear's made himself cry.
Dear viewer, if you're wondering why Bear hasn't been in one of these in a while,
Instant stinger.
Because we kicked him out because he tried to rap last time and now he's getting kicked out again.
Instant stinger, baby.
forcing the stinger joke is back.
Mate, I might just leave this all in, be like, this is how we start episodes now.
This is the worst episode for anyone to listen
This
to
is
as
the
their
best
first
start of an
episode.
episode ever.
Yeah, imagine we get a bunch of new followers after episode 50. Episode 50 is so hype and a big milestone. Loads of
Yeah.
people tune in. 51 starts with, I'm doing a rap.